Alright, so you just downloaded OBS and you're thinking to yourself, man, how do I going properly? So, this is after you open it up. Don't worry about all this stuff. You don't even have to worry about scenes or mixer at this point. The first thing you want to do is go to sources. So, video capture device is what I'm going to start with because I use an Elgato capture card. So we're going to want to configure that capture card. We're going to want to throw it in there, right? No, not the webcam, not yet. Elgato. There it is, right? So that is our game stream right there.
Man, best in the world.
Okay. The second thing we're going to want to add to it is a video capture device for our face cam. There you go. It's up right there, huh? Hi. Handsome fella. Okay. So now we got our gameplay and we got our face cam going on. But wait, they can't hear you. So the next thing you're going to want to add is an audio input capture, right? Because you want your input to be output to them. I use Blue Yeti, so throw it on in there. Oh, now they can hear my pretty voice, right? So now you got the basics on how to start it off. So the next part is you're going to want to go to your, you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm good now. You're not good now. You got to go to your video capture device and you got to go to the properties, right? You got to go from capture audio only to direct sound. Now you can hear what's going through it instead of having to wear your Xbox or whatever headphones, right? So if we want to make them pretty here, we're going to go to our settings. We're going to set up our standards, right? We got our, all this stuff isn't really important the first time through. You just want to make sure that your devices right here are set properly. We want our desktop audio to be our desktop audio. We want our first standard to be our first standard. There we go. Now we got it going.
Go.
Now I can hear it.
I'm on the quest for a million loves.
And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to label them properly because they get pretty long. But let's say you're not recording from a video capture device. Let's say you're recording from your desktop. Well, we can do that too. Display capture, right? Bam. That's the display going on right there. I know it's crazy, but that's what it is. We want to get our face cam at the top of it. We don't want it at the bottom. There we go. Bam. There you go. Now this is a recording of me recording a recording. Recordception. I don't know. That's the basics to start with, right? Then later you'll add extra scenes. Extra scenes are important if you want to just pop to a face cam, especially if you're using this as a how-to. I would have my own some other videos media put up there. You can have text going on, you can have an internet page up to help learning, but these are the basics. So now we can see our stuff producing. The next thing you want to do is you want to set up the filters, especially for your voice that's coming through, because you don't want to ear rape everybody going on in there. So your first thing you want is a noise gate, right? And we have a noise gate. Basically what you want to do with your noise gate is you want to see what's too loud and what's too soft. You want to turn down the sensitivity until you can no longer hear your voice. Then you just want to crank it up slowly until you're at the basic point of regular speech, right? So now anything below this decibel level won't be perceived by the microphone, so you won't hear your hard drive spinning up. You won't hear somebody putzing around at the back. You certainly won't hear your keys going off. So that's something that you're going to want to include on there. But that's the basics. That's how you start it. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. You're going to see the little Bandicam thing up here. I don't use Bandicam. I use OBS, obviously, and I also use the OBS suite through Streamlabs. So I didn't feel like paying for it just to make another video of a video. So there you go. All right, so you think to yourself, all right, that's it. That's all we need. But you can't hear anything coming through from your games, right? So let's say you plug a headset into your PlayStation 4, right? You can't hear anything now. Well, here's what you do, right? Go into your settings. Oh, hang on. Let's get me out of there. You go into your settings. and go down to devices, audio devices. You want your output to the TV, right? Even with the headset plugged in instead of headset. You want your input device still to be set to headset. Then you can talk to them. You can just hear them through the OBS suite software, right? So let's say you can't hear your Xbox buddies, right? Because that's set to the same thing. Well, that's a simple fix too. Going over here to settings. Party chat output. You want it to come from the speakers, because then it's not just coming through your headset, it's coming through everything applicable. Alright. I'll give you a quick run through of what these look like. Display capture. Now, we're not going to really want the display capture on if you're running a single monitor, because you'll get this whole thing, unless you're running, you know, a separate monitor, in which case it'll look something like that. Okay. Game capture, that works better if you have full screen applications running, because you'll have to designate what windows you want running through that. But really, it's going to be video capture, and window capture are going to be your friends too. Window capture will help you pick up specific video or specific windows to help you set up your recording properly. Lastly are our settings. These are the settings that I use. Okay. Of course, your video you want. I put the output scale to 1920 by 1080. Again, once you start encoding it, it might change, but you want as good as you can send to the encoder. These might not be the best settings for you, but they definitely work for me. You can even change this to 1080 if you wanted to, or 1280 by 720, which would be 720p. Audio now, everybody's is set to 44.1. But a lot of like computer speakers and stuff like that usually run better with 48,000 hertz. That's pretty much the way that you want your output to be. It'll be utilized better. Audio meter decay, that's just pertaining to these right here. You basically want it on fast because you don't want those meters going off unless there's sound coming through. YUV 709. Below normal is fine for processes. Normal is okay too. We also have Streamlabs, which I'll get into another time, but that's the basics to get it done. To get out there and have your videos being produced to YouTube. If you have a video capture device, you're going to want to use video capture. If you're running with like a PC game, or you have a way to make it play through a monitor, you're going to want to run through display capture, and you're going to want to make sure that the appropriate sounds are coming out of the appropriate areas. And that's it. See, I have my desktop going, so I want that stuff to come through. Otherwise, whatever. I hope you found this helpful. I'll get into some more specifics later, and I'll do Streamlabs for you next time. I hope you enjoyed, and leave some feedback. Subscribe if it helped, man. I appreciate it.